Dead Workers Party, a Smite podcast.
On Smite, episode 205, recorded on May 16th, 2014.
I'm Brent Copeland.
I'm Eric Fullerton.
I'm Paul Afro Monkey Lockhart.
And I'm Kevin Sayer.
Tweet them out. Yeah.
I don't know what this means, but we're gonna fill your ear holes with lots of good smiteness.
Yeah, we got some mail. We got some mail in again. Apparently, people like to send in mail under dirty names.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
which I
Everybody's
like.
got dirty names.
Talk to that about that later.
Yeah, Mercury's gonna ult, and he's gonna drop mail from the sky, and we're gonna read it.
And of course, we got our part 2 of Sobek's parlay parlor
With Dry Bear.
Dry Bear, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
A.K.A. Captain...
Dry Bear.
Nothing. Never mind. Dry Bear.
Dry Bear, yeah.
Good.
The USS Dry Bear.
And of course, we'll talk about the patch and some things that I guess Hell Shoot data mine from the last patch, and of course Thor's top 5. And if we can get to it, we even have maybe some hot topics.
Hot topics.
Hot topics.
But first...
Hey guys, what's
Yeah.
How about that? How about that segue, though?
How about it?
How about it? How about what Brent did this week?
Yeah, I did some stuff. And speaking of, well, not really the Kraken, but Cthulhu, which maybe we shouldn't mention so we don't get this skin pulled. But I played with the new Amuse and Cobb skin, which is awesome, and we'll talk about that, I think, when we get to the patch stuff. Also, did I mention I got fired? Not sure I mentioned that.
Oh.
I've heard that a couple of times.
I think.
Do you want me to say I'm sorry, or...
No, it's a good
Laugh at
thing.
you?
It's a good thing.
All right, I'm happy you got fired.
But it's going to give us more time to do more content and a Patreon page to hopefully, help us pay for stuff now that I'm fired and not making money and my kids need to eat. Apparently, that's what my wife says. So,
Whatever.
Kids are so needy.
I know, right? And also finally played ISIS. Like, I've gotten that skin for ISIS, the Dark Coven skin, like so long ago.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's towels. I think we need towels on Nivix cables. But anyway, so I finally played ISIS with the Dark Coven skin. It was pretty awesome. Eric and I played a game, and we wrecked some people, I think.
Yeah, a little bit of wreckage.
Some wreckage.
Yes.
That was a lot of fun.
Did you play Siege at all this week? I hadn't even played one single Siege game.
I didn't. Like I said, I got fired.
Oh, yeah.
So we've been coming to the studio every day, like a 9 to 5, 10 to 5, 10 to 7, 10 to midnight kind of thing. So it's like we just get home, or at least I've just been getting home and just, I'll talk
Crash
to my
out.
wife and kids if my kids are still awake, and then crash out.
Well,
I haven't played
what's
any
the
games.
first thing we do when we get to the office? Every day.
We look at each other and kind of giggle and go, "Do you want to play games, Smite?"
Yeah. Okay, that was first. And then the second thing is actually playing Smite. So that's kind of our morning thing to wake up. So we get here. We got a full day of work ahead of us. But first, Smite. And I think that works out. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
6 hours later,
Right.
you actually get around to that whole work thing.
Yeah.
No, we've been getting a lot done.
Yeah.
And we're going to start with part of the Patreon stuff. We're going to start a daily podcast.
Yeah.
Where you'll be able to hear what we're going to be doing for the day, and that's our morning coffee.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well,
that's a pretty neat one.
Will every episode be, I think we're going to play some Smite today.
Probably
not. I mean,
Probably.
well, maybe. I mean, but we're going to talk about like what we're going to be working on for the day. Maybe some, it's morning coffee where we spill the beans.
Yeah. Oh.
I get it. It's funny.
Like it?
It's
It's
clever.
hilarious.
Anyway,
He's
so
funny joke.
also one thing I was thinking of, what made me think of this was I was working on a Thor's top 5, and I was like maps that were never considered, or that they didn't like, or whatever. And I just started like thinking of like all the TF2 maps came to like my like capture like 2 Fort, and like I was like, why don't they do something like that? Like where you're like in a building, you're running through and going up areas,
stairs and stuff.
Like could they make it where like TF2 did, open kind of like this public download of maps, but only in the custom game, so you can custom and like pick a map to play, and it's like from a bunch of weird random stuff,
Mm-hmm.
I think that'd just be crazy, and then do like capture the flag, like you're running with your Pantheon's flag to the other side, and
that's pretty cool,
and stuff like that. Like I don't know, there'd be some weird stuff that was never done. I mean, this has never been done in a MOBA, really, right? Like these weird. Anyway, so I think
that's
that'd be
good.
cool.
Maybe that's just right now. Maybe it's just functionality that they. Maybe they're worried about other stuff right now.
Yeah.
That's just not saying it's a bad idea. I think that'd be hilarious to play 2 Fort in Smite. But I guess probably, I don't know, they're probably working on making sure the game isn't glitchy.
Yeah.
Like the one thing I see about that, because I think I've heard one of the developers during a stream basically say that trying to do like elevation changes in the way they have the game set up could be problematic. So you probably wouldn't see things like stairs and multiple levels, but definitely, I mean, an enclosed map, it would make like Nija and some of the other gods and Thor, their ults, like it would have to be a really high roof for their ults not to just go through the ceiling.
Maybe in like a gymnasium they could be able to play basketball. Right? Yeah, a basketball game mode. I like it.
Or do it the WoW style where everything is it's super huge anyway.
Well,
like all the buildings and stuff.
It could always be kind of like the map of the days, where on certain maps, just certain gods aren't playable, or only certain gods are playable. I mean, there's ways around all the stuff. It's just, I understand the stairs one. That could be a big issue, especially with jumping.
Yeah.
True that.
But anyway, that was kind of my week.
All right.
Cool. I played a little. Like Brent said, I mean, I've been down here. We've been organizing and working so much that it's just kind of some morning games here and there. I haven't played any Siege. Really want to get back to it. This week I've just only played arenas and assaults, I guess. Yeah. And and that's really it. I mean, I saw the new Geb skin. We'll get into all this stuff, but I'm excited about all the new stuff that's been coming out lately. So,
yeah, for sure. All right. So I playing more ranked. I got to bronze 3 this week.
Oh,
so I'm moving on up in the world. I played another match this morning, and so I'm sort of secured in bronze 3 now. I have 24 tribute points, so I have to lose 5 games in a row to get knocked down to bronze 4. So it's at least, it's nice having some safety. I don't suck that bad, I think. So
we're going to start calling you Kevin Jefferson.
Wait.
Because they're moving
I don't know what that
up.
means.
They're moving up.
I
like it.
That was...
I got it. I just didn't laugh.
To bronze.
I also played a game with Aduro, who is Team Dignitas's sub. I didn't know who he was, but I was looking at my tab menu, and I'm like, Dig Aduro. Is that Dignitas's clan tag? I'm pretty sure that's their clan tag. And then after the game was over, I looked him up, and I was like, yep, surely was him. So that was kind of cool. So I played with 2 pro players. So, play with 2 more, and I'll be a pro, because I'll play with 4 people, right? That's how it works.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's exactly how it works.
No.
Yeah.
You'll be getting
Anyway,
some of that Dig money, I'm sure, right?
I also decided this week, because I really love the new skin for Amuzin Cobb, and I've been playing Amuzin Cobb in Conquest a lot, like not League Conquest, because I don't know if I'm good enough for that, but just like casual, so I can level him, because that's the fastest way to level is play Conquest. So, but I love the skin a lot, and because I've been doing pretty well with him, I decided that Amuzin Cobb's going to be my first legendary. Not Kronos, not Neja, it's going to be Amuzin Cobb. So that's so I can have a legendary Dark Whisperer. That's the plan.
Yeah.
It's all right. Yeah.
Sweet.
So that's my week.
Sweet.
Excellent.
How about you, Paul?
I've been watching a lot of tournaments and stuff. Like, I work on the weekends. That's when most of the tournaments take place. So I just end up watching it at work while I'm doing other stuff, like have it on in the background and when the casters start yelling about something, glance over. But Wednesday they have the Smite Central has their 3v3 tournament, and I was watching it, but I didn't catch this particular match. But I watched a replay of, I think it was Cognitive against Juice, which DM Brandon was on Juice. It was the shortest competitive joust match ever.
Yeah, it was.
It really was. I watched it too.
I think
it's pretty sad.
Yeah, I think from beginning to end it was 3 minutes.
Yeah, but gameplay it was 30 seconds.
Yeah. It was like picks
that's
and
just,
stuff. Yeah.
Like the first 2 deaths occurred before minions even spawned.
Yeah.
Yep. Because Cognitive just went for it. They just decided to gank. And no, they moved in, right? And then they tried to attack Skilla, but Cognitive collapsed and just made him pay for it big time, and they got a deicide.
Well, no.
Well, because Juice was
Cognitive
on their side. Juice was on Cog's side on their red. And then Cog came in through the middle, and then when they tried to jump him, they just got owned by Cog.
They were buffing, right? They did the whole
But they were trying
denial.
to steal their buff, right?
Yeah.
So they were on Cog's red, I believe.
So you got to watch out for that. Like, I mean, a game can really go downhill just because there was a buff denial and a fight happening, and it's like, and we take it for granted too, right? We'll even go all the way up to the speed buff on our side and sit there and just wait.
Yeah.
But I mean, the game could be over right there if we're not super careful.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, and I actually think that in a way this was, at least after that, it was an intentional play by Cog because, they didn't go for buffs after they had wiped 2 people off of Juice. Once everybody respawned, they just went straight back in and they focused DM. And after they got a deicide, it was over. Juice just surrendered.
Yeah, like
they were so salty.
Yeah,
so salty.
Well, in the comments, I don't know if y'all read the comments on the video. They were salty. Like poor DM Brandon. Like he's so it's like you love him or hate him. It seems like for most people, and it's like they either trash him or they defend him, and it's just it's hard
like
going into a thread where he's like the focus because it's just so back and forth, and I don't know.
Well, and the other thing that was weird about that tournament is that DM was he was streaming on Smite Game the entire time that they were playing in that tournament, to my knowledge, because I would go back and forth and watch him streaming, playing in the game, and then jump back over to watching that same game, but with the casting. So it's just, it's weird to compete in a tournament, but stream at the same time.
Andenster was streaming during the tournament too. Actually, I looked at his stream while he was playing Skilla in one other match.
Yeah.
And so,
like, it seems almost like in that case, if you're playing in a tournament and someone stream snipes you, I mean, you're kind of, I don't know, kind of asking for it.
Kind of screwed yourself on that one, right?
Yeah. But I don't think Cog was stream sniping. I think they were just focusing him because they know they can get him angry.
Yeah, well, and also, isn't it 3 minutes behind on tournament stuff?
I think so.
Yeah.
So doesn't really matter.
Well, the stream.
Oh, but they're streaming what they're seeing, so yeah.
Yeah, they're streaming from on the Smite Game channel. They were streaming. He was streaming.
Like they're streaming themselves and not like the spectators.
Yeah.
Yeah, that seems stupid.
I guess there's 20 seconds behind, but then something like going for the red buff, they would be like, "Oh, they're at our red buff."
Yeah.
Or they were at our red buff or something like that.
Like 3 minutes ago.
The delay would stop you from doing something like really immediate. But if they were sitting there waiting for the red buff to to come up, then that's plenty of time for Cog to have gone over there and ganked them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's very interesting.
Yeah,
it's very interesting. very interesting.
You know what else is interesting?
Incoming ult.
I have a message for you. Gotta go fast. Gross. Yeah. We got mail. Let's take a look at Mercury's website. Let's go.
Yeah, we got the mail sack today. Thanks, Apollo.
Thanks a lot. That's actually Mercury, but.
What'd I say?
Wow, Eric. Apollo.
No, his brother Apollo.
Right.
His
He was-
brother-
No,
in-law.
not brothers.
Mercury was
In
ready
law.
on
There was a marriage that happened.
Apollo's
it gets
chariot
complicated.
to
It gets
deliver the mail.
complicated.
His
Please
boots
just
weren't
stop.
working
Just-
today.
Eric doesn't know anything
Just
about
stop.
mythology.
It gets
what I learned
complicated.
today.
He dropped Mercury from his chariot, and then
Mhm.
Mercury used his mail sack as a parachute and landed.
Right.
It's also very complicated. I'll
That's
fill you
it.
in after the show.
Okay, so let's open this first
All
one.
right,
here.
Mercury. Or Apollo, whoever gave us this freaking mail.
Okay, so this is from Cocklade. It says, I love your podcast of Smite, and I have just started playing Smite because of you guys. I see that Siege mode could be big, but can it be competitive? Also, did you guys see the new skin for AMC? Because it's Love Time from Cthulhu.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so here's the question. Is Cthulhu copyrighted or trademarked or
I don't think
registered
so.
or something?
It used to be.
Yeah, it used
Like,
to
I
be.
mean,
don't think
it's
anymore.
Lovecraft wrote the books, right? So there's
Yeah, and it's a commercial product. It's not like it's a public domain thing, right?
and they had to redo the deities and demigods like D&D did because of the Cthulhu gods in the book. So that's like
Oh.
a really expensive copy to get is the original one that actually has the Cthulhu gods in it
Oh, I see.
because it had to be rewritten. So at that point, I mean, we're talking 20 years ago or something.
Yeah.
God,
Right.
Am I that old?
Well,
30,
it was
30
in what, the
years ago?
80s was the original D&D.
So
Hmm.
it was copyrighted then. Did the copyright run out? Is it free domain now?
I
Public
forgot
domain?
what
Hey.
the standard duration of a copyright is. Is it like 50 years or something like that?
It
Yeah.
used to be, but then Disney kind of screwed everything up, and now everything has like billions of years. attached
Well,
to
yeah,
it.
Yeah.
And copyright keeps getting rewritten all the time. Like, technically, the Beatles songs should be, free to use, but they have refiled these and they've bent the laws to make it to where you'll never be able to use a Beatles song or an Elvis song or anything that's right on the cusp of being open. And it's just dumb. It's just stupid law.
Yeah.
Here's from the H.P. Lovecraft Wiki, copyright status of the works by H.P. Lovecraft. There's controversy
Ooh.
over the copyright status of many of the fiction works of American horror writer H.P. Lovecraft, especially his later works. He basically specified that young R.H. Barlow would serve as executor over the estate. So there's a lot of text here. Other stuff. All works published before 1923 are public domain in the U.S. However, there's some disagreement over who exactly owns or owned the copyright and whether the copyrights for the majority of works published after that, including pieces like The Call of Cthulhu and The Mountains of Madness, if they've expired.
Oh, controversial.
This here is basically saying that they have expired in the wiki, but it's a wiki, so... but hopefully that's a good thing, because we have some other stuff to talk about skins later, and...
Yeah. And some issues with copyright.
Yeah.
Oops.
So
Awkward.
let's just call it the Dark Whisperer skin and not bring up Cthulhu.
Yeah, the C word. Yeah.
I'm not saying we got...
In terms of your first question, though, Cocklade, I do think Siege mode could definitely be competitive. I think it needs more tweaking from Hi-Res. I think it's got to be balanced better. It's got to be more consistent, because as it is, matches are very inconsistent.
Mm-hmm.
But it is complicated, and a lot is going on in Siege. And with the mechanics, with how important buffs are and how important the Silver Fury is, and how important getting minion kills are, I think it's definitely something that could become competitive.
And I think technically any of the modes, with possibly the exception of Assault, could be competitive. And the only reason why I say not Assault is because you can't choose which god, which would make people less inclined to play it competitively, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But I think all of them have the potential. Now, whether or not they'll draw people's interest as a competitive match, that's just up to people watching.
Yeah. True.
Hmm.
That's what I have to say about that.
Yeah.
That was interesting.
So
stuff.
Brent, what do you have to say about it?
I think that's so interesting.
Well, I'm glad Brent showed up today. So from Slatic, Hi-Rez has stated several times they'll never add any Lovecraftian or biblical deities. In this week's patch, the Dark Whisperer was released not as an individual god, but as an alternate skin for Amuz and Cobb. What biblical skins would be cool to see in this game? Jesus, Moses, etc. So I was thinking, I know we already have the Sun Wukong skin, the Dark Lord one, but I think a Jesus skin for Sun Wukong would be great, because when he does his ult, he like goes up on the cross, and it's like floating up in the air on the cross, right?
Okay.
And then maybe a Moses skin for Hebo, and all of the effects are like red and stuff, right? Like the Red Sea and like the River of Blood.
I don't know a whole lot of maybe like a Adam or Eve kind of thing. Maybe an Agni. He's Adam and Eve.
Or what is hell? Hell is Adam and Eve.
Oh, there you go. He's a man. No, he's a woman. He's a man. He's a woman. Who knows?
Like, what if they did a hell one with what do they call that? Where the actor on stage, they'll do like a duet, and one side's the girl, and then they flip. And
Oh
that's
yeah,
the
the side like Two-Face. You
Yeah,
know, like yeah, that's pretty cool.
That'd be funny. Or
Pontius Pilate? No, I don't know.
he doesn't really do anything. He
Yeah,
just kind
he-
of sentences Jesus to die.
He's just a Jesus killer. That's all.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, I don't really know a lot of biblical characters, but
They should do. I think they should do a Jehovah skin for Zeus. And he when he stuns people with his 3, they turn into salt real quick, like while they're stunned. I think that'd be funny.
Nice.
And then his shields could just be like, I don't know, something. And then his ult could just be flooding a big area of effect. I don't know. I think this would be a great idea actually for them to add like biblical skins, because that'd be a way for them to. I mean, they might still get some crap, but I think it'd be much more okay in the public eye, I think, than putting Jesus in the game as a god.
The people who would have an issue with it wouldn't care.
I know,
if it
but
was
there are
an
people that
actual
have an
god.
issue with the Hindu gods, and they don't. I mean, there's not enough of issues. So I think if it were premium skins that, they could get it out there that Hi-Rez put this in the game, but you have to pay for it. So
You got to pay
Maybe
for
more
your
okay.
Jesus.
Yeah,
yeah,
I think that would piss them off even more.
yeah. Well, Americans are annoying. Americans get pissed off about anything anyway, so who even really cares? Americans are just dumb. So like, what are we gonna do about it? Nothing.
What we gonna do?
What? Yeah. What are we going to do?
What are we gonna do about this next question, Eric?
What's this guy's name?
PL. How about PL?
PL?
Fook Luong.
Fuklong.
Fuklong. From the last on Smite show, you guys said it is not fair for the re-rolling to be added, but when they re-roll, they are just getting a different but still random god. So you can still roll into another god that you can also be bad at.
Well, I think what we were saying last episode, that if you get a healer and you re-roll and you get a non-healer on the re-roll, then you're just basically screwing your team.
Yeah.
Well, and I'm still saying that I think he's wrong. It's not just re-rolling. If you re-roll, it's because you don't like that god or probably aren't good with that god.
Right.
So you're re-rolling to try to get a god that you are better at. So yes, it does make an absolute difference re-rolling. Yes, you could get a god you still suck with, but you have a chance to get a god that you're really good at.
Yeah.
But I mean, by the logic, Brent, you have the same chance of getting a god that you're good at in the first place. So it's really
no, you don't. No, you don't.
Well, yeah, you do.
You have a 1 in 50 chance to begin with, and then when you re-roll, you have a 1 in a lot. What?
49
Take
chance.
Yeah,
So
because you
have
took
a better
one.
chance.
Yeah, because you're only good at one god. Yeah, I too. am
No,
only
all
good
the
at one
gods
god.
that everybody's already gotten.
Okay.
See, like, how does it re-roll? Like when, say, everybody re-rolls.
Yeah, but technically, the way this is a math
Because you can't be
debate now.
you can't be the same god as someone
That's
else.
one of
right?
your-
But exactly.
You
So
can't be
the
the same
initial
god.
roll. So the initial roll is the same statistics as the second roll, except you can't get the god you just had.
So it's -1.
Yeah. So you have a little bit better chance, but not very much. It might be, instead of 1 in 30, it's 1 in 29. Or I guess it'd probably be more like instead of 1 in 40, it's 1 in 39. But because 10 other gods in the game.
Well, the other team
But you're
can have
also
duplicate-
making a conscious choice of being able to reroll. It's like maybe you suck at only one god and you get that one god. Now you have a 100% chance to get a god you don't suck with.
Yeah.
Well, and also you don't. have to worry about the people who are on the other team because you can have duplicates on each team.
Yeah.
There can be a Neath on both teams, so whatever they got doesn't even matter. It's just
You're right. Yeah, I forgot about
teammates.
that. So it'd be 1 in like 47, and then 1 in 46.
But I think what we were basically getting at, the real unfair part was the healer situation.
Yeah.
Because, they do that to have some resemblance of balance, and to just basically re-roll and get a non-healer would somewhat screw your team.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Not saying it would be impossible to win without a healer, but it'd be a lot more difficult.
Yeah, I think it would suck. I think.
Well, I think it's okay, and I'm glad I have something to spend favor on apart from gold skins now. So,
Yeah.
I like it, and I'm just happy I'm not going to get stuck playing like Bakasura in Assault, which is no fun. Like I played, it just isn't fun. Like why do I have to be damned to play something to not have any fun?
I've had some good matches with Bakasura in Assault.
Yeah, but I mean,
I have
we're
too.
the people, right? So I hate Bakasura in Assault. So you can love Bakasura in Assault. Like that's fine. I'm not saying Bakasura. I just hate Bakasura in Assault.
I'm
Kevin's
just
a
going to have to say
Bakasura
you're
hater.
wrong.
I thought I would use it more, but I haven't used it yet. The reroll.
Yeah,
I used it
haven't-
once when I played it with Oh, I totally forgot about that. I played a bunch of matches with Octane Pro this week.
Oh yeah.
He was doing
he
some
was-
viewer games. Yeah, and I messaged him when I saw him log on. I was like, hey, you doing viewer games? He said, yeah. And I'm like, do you mind if I play one with you? And he said, sure. So we played the first one together, and then he just let me stay in. He kicked everyone else out, but then like kept circling at other people, but let me stay in with him.
Were you
So I
playing? Were you Bakasura?
No, actually, the one Assault we played, I got Uller.
Oh, so that's cool.
I kind of owned it. We lost, but I did the best on our team. So, but yeah, so Octane, I love you, and we had some great games this week.
Nice.
They
It's
got
all right.
kind of not really creepy, but a little bit.
A little creepy.
It just got brotherly. It's just some bonding there.
Yeah.
Oh God, you're not making it better.
Yeah, just some bondage there. That's all.
No, that's not what I said.
Oh.
I said bonding.
Oh, okay. I guess that
Moving
makes
right
sense.
along.
Moving right along. So now we're gonna play the second half of the interview with Dry Bear. Check it out right now.
Do you think it's possible that there are certain gods and actives that aren't so much used in Conquest, but we'll see in a siege mode? That
Definitely, yeah. I mean,
come to light?
there's tons. Oh, absolutely, yeah. And then there are certain actives that are used for teamfight basis. I don't think meditation has any place in Siege either. Maybe more so in Siege than Conquest, but it's kind of along the same lines. The teamfight actives are great, but I think there's going to be more people picking up Hand of the Gods when they normally wouldn't. Or people picking up a lot of heavenly agilities, whereas you only see maybe one, sometimes two in Conquest. Maybe you'll see 3 or 4 in Siege, just because the mobility is huge there. The Siege minion is pretty fast as it is, but bringing your teammates along to take things out quickly is important. So I think there's going to be more focus on the objectives than it is about the team fights and personal safety, because the kills are obviously worth the little ticks, but the points, but it's not going to be as focused as, say, you lose a team fight, you lose the game. It's more like you lose a tower, you lose the game.
Mm-hmm. So obviously, then of course, like you mentioned, we have a lot of new league changes coming in the next patch,
Right.
and I certainly think that there are going to be a lot of people that weren't in league before this that are going to see this change and be like, maybe I should try this out. So what would you say to somebody that has played lots of casual conquest? Maybe they think they probably understand casual conquest's nuances pretty well, but coming to league, what do you think is going to be different for that person, or for all the people that are going to try out league for the first time now?
Well, as far as the shift from like casual conquest to league, it really I feel like it starts in the mind. You kind of have to take a critical eye to how you're playing the game, and people get into this routine where they queue up for Smite, they play a game of Smite, and then they queue up for another game for Smite, but there's no look into what happened in the game, why it happened, and how to improve individual aspects of your gameplay. So I think if you're going to make the leap into League and you're really going to take it seriously, you have to kind of have to do your research. So you're going to watch live streams of competitive players. You're going to be researching builds and game shifts and really the best way to play certain characters. I think that the first and foremost thing you have to do for yourself is that you want to make sure that you're able to play at least 3 roles So basically, try to have 3 positions that you can play to a competitive level or to a comparable level to other players. If you only play one role and you get to the bottom, let's say you're on the bottom of the list, and first pick just says, I'm playing Hunter, deal with it. Then, when you have to be forcibly shifted to another role and you don't know how to play it, you're going to be a huge detriment to your team and also yourself. No one wants to play a role they're not good at and then do poorly and then have their team blame them or just have that feeling like you weren't contributing to the game itself. So, be versatile enough to play at least 3 different roles. And there's a lot of crossover that people don't always realize. There are hunters that can play solo. There are mages that can play solo. There are mages that can jungle. There are hunters that can go into other places. There are guardians that can play jungle, solo, or long lane. You try to play off of those combinations. Like say Sun Wukong. Sun Wukong can solo, support, and jungle. And so if you know those 3 roles and you can play Sun Wukong, then there's a lot of overlap there, and that's usually a good way to kind of like bring yourself to spread it across the board and be capable to react to what happens in the picking stage. I would say focus on the picking stage a lot. Definitely trying to realize why picks are good and try to talk to people and realize what's great to pick. One great tip that I always give is that just because a character is the best character in the competitive scene does not mean you have to play him. Play what you're good at. Play what you're comfortable at. If you really like Hades, everyone says don't play Hades. He sucks. He's the worst god in the game. Play Hades. Play what you're good at and what you know, and don't just say, oh, well, Ur is the best character in the game, so I have to play Ur. No, you don't, because you don't know the character, and so you're better off playing something that you know. So, just be very aware, be very focused on how the game is going, and try to learn as you go instead of just playing to play. You have to try to learn the game like you're taking a class instead of just playing to play out a game of Conquest.
Awesome. So I guess we have a couple questions from people in the community. One is from Super Corey. He says, hey, how have the reduced ward ranges changed the warding meta? What does everyone need to know to adjust in their strats, and where does Eye of Providence stand now?
The warding meta. I don't think we've ever had a warding meta. It's kind of like, you just throw it all over the floor and hope it's good enough. There's just so many open corridors and intersections in the jungle where you just throw down a bunch of wards and hope that you get as much coverage as you can. The ward range, I think, was good because it forces supports and people that are countering to be more specific on where they're putting their counter wards, especially around the Fire Giant with those 2 pillars with that block line of sight. They obscure everything, so you have to kind of get around the corner. And there's ways you can, hide wards and tuck them in and all that. And realistically, I think that's why the range was there. Mainly, it's just that so people have to focus more on, it's not like the old days where you get Eye of Providence 3, put it down, and you see, oh, there's 6 wards, jackpot. It's more that you have to kind of put it like where you think the ward is close enough. As far as Eye of Providence, it just, once people start to realize that everyone on the team is responsible for vision, Eye of Providence starts to fall off. Now, granted, it does tie into the fact that you can only hold 1 sentry ward at a time and only 2 standard wards at a time, and so it's good to have that extra slot. But with the prevalence of things like Blink on very great initiators, things like Heavenly Agility for healers, or just in general, especially with the slow immunity, there's so many great options for supports now where they don't really have to get Eye of Providence, and vision is easier to come by because people are starting to realize that when I'm a mage and I go back to the base, I should be buying a ward. When I'm a jungler and I go back to the base, I should be buying a ward. And because they're so easy to pick up and not that expensive, you can really pick it up as you go along. Especially, you can get vision from other things. So I think that Eye of Providence fell off because other actives are there, and also because the game is so fast. And bruisers are now starting to take over for support. We don't really have as many guardians in the support role, that it's all about initiating than it is about being defensive. And so you'll see Geb with Blink, you'll see Sun Wukong with Heavenly Agility, you'll see these kind of bruisers like Odin jumping in there and trapping people and starting the fight. It seems like that the support archetype is more for initiation than defense, and so the wards may not be as much of a focus.
Okay. From Okami Luna, she has a lot here, but her basic question is, are there any game modes that are kind of like fun that aren't necessarily in Smite yet, but you would like to see, maybe like Capture the Flag or PvE, PvP combination kind of thing? Something that maybe wouldn't be competitive, but could be fun.
Well, that's a good question. I think there's a lot out there, and certainly things that would fit perfectly. And there's, like you said, there are long-standing classics that would really fit well, like Capture the Flag or King of the Hill or anything along those lines. Things that are kind of coming out now, like in the Heroes of the Storm, where they have the objective-based things where a certain event will happen, like in Guild Wars as well, the world events. I think that's also a very unique and cool aspect where we kind of incorporate that a little bit in the Siege mode, where you see that Siege minion spawn, you have to control it. But I think that also would be a great idea for kind of incorporating into the game, is having these kind of things that are so organic and dynamic as they go towards the end of the match, that it really kind of keeps you on your toes.
Awesome. And then finally, about you, tell us something that we don't know.
Oh man, the big one that nobody knows is where my name comes from, but no one's going to be able to get that one. That's a well kept secret. As far as what someone wouldn't know about me, man, this is always a hard question. I'm going to go with, I was actually in ROTC for about 3 years, and so I was wearing a uniform. I had like the shaved head and everything, marching on the parade grounds and all that. And I think with my stream, some people would be surprised to know that that's kind of like where I was when I was younger.
Mm-hmm. Well, awesome. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah,
of course.
Thanks. Oh, that was awesome. It's always good to hear from Dry Bear.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much,
so what's
sir.
next?
All right, let's get on with it.
Patch of the Pantheons.
Woohoo!
All right, got a new patch this week, and it's cool. I think it's cool.
It's super cool.
Super
It is the
cool.
coolest.
Super duper awesome. We got some new skins and stuff.
So we got the Dark Whisperer, which is that Cthulhu
C word.
inspired. Are we not supposed to say that?
It doesn't. I don't think it matters.
Losing Cobb skin, and it's awesome. I bought it and just playing with it, just all the effects. His hive thing that turns into the
the weird
insanity
tentacle, creepy
hive.
tentacle thing.
Yeah,
Yes.
and just spewing the blackness all over the ground and
The blackness.
No
And how he has like
blackness.
the harpoon for his ult.
Yeah.
Shoots out like a harpoon at you. One thing. Now, my one gripe with the skin is he's got all the sound effects still sound like he's bees.
Did
all the
buy
noises.
the pack?
Yeah, no.
Did you buy
The
the right
voice pack.
sound pack?
I know the voice pack is the thing, but the sound effects on his abilities in game still
Oh.
sound like
Are they?
the bee noises are being made.
I
Yeah.
didn't notice that.
I didn't know.
But
Like
I
when
do
you
like
shoot
the
out
laughing.
his tube, it still has like buzzing. They should make it like something like creepy or like gooey or
gurgling.
eerie. I don't know.
Yeah.
Gurgling.
Yeah, like a.
Like,
I mean, all the voice pack is awesome. I love the voice pack for him.
Kind of sound like bees.
yeah. Yeah, the sounds are great. He just kind of laughs randomly too. Kind of like
No, I
pumpkin.
kept laughing the whole match.
Oh, were you doing the laugh? Oh, BEL. Oh, I was wondering. I thought he was another Thanatos Pumpkinhead thing where he just laughs.
No, I have it on a button on my mouse, hotkeyed.
Oh, okay.
so
That's
I
cool.
laugh a lot.
Jadura.
So that was pretty awesome. So you bought it. I didn't get it yet. I will probably next time I play AMC, which is probably soon.
Imosiwa.
The Geb 1, however, this is awesome.
Yeah,
I want to say the T word. Can I say the T
I
word?
don't know. Are we allowed to? It's a GoBot skin, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
No one,
He,
I think that's still copyrighted.
yeah.
but no one knows what it is.
He's like a. So
I don't think you can. Like, you're gonna get a suit, dude. You can't.
It's a
make that
robot.
noise.
He looks like that
skin.
robot by Hasbro or whoever makes it. Anyway,
So it's a nice Decepticon way to get a skin into the game. I mean, deceptive.
yeah, it's definitely an auto buy. If you were to want this skin, just buy it right away. So it's so cool. Like the shield is all cool and electronic looking. Like it's that green glow. His ult is great looking. All around this thing is cool, and he flies. What?
I think the skin is just prime. It might be even just optimal.
Yeah, nice. Yes, I like
So-
that. I mean, there's no reason not to get this skin for any Geb user. Geb user, are you a Geb user?
Geb user.
You need to.
There sounds like there's a 5-step program for that. We're not gonna go the full 12. We're just gonna
This
go
skin
5.
is pretty jazzy.
Oh yeah.
Oh God.
And they go and they continue forever.
Maybe it's time to GoBot.
Yeah, yeah.
But one of the things that's really awesome about the skin, the best part of it perhaps, is his one. He turns into a spaceship and starts flying around. Like, how cool is that, right?
Yeah.
I remember I was watching the reveal for the skin on Bart's stream, and it was really funny because Bart had done like everything else with the skin, and he forgot about the rollout basically, and he did roll out, and while he was doing it, he just kind of sat there, and he was like, "That is the greatest thing ever." He's like, "This, I'm pretty sure this is the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life."
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, and it's a premium skin too, obviously, because it's so much work. But it has some great sounds. It's really more than meets the eye. Once you get this thing going, it's really like a rock in disguise.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm out of those.
So moving on.
Moving on.
Moving on. So
It's not very ratchet.
I thought we moved on.
We're moving
trying
on.
to. So apparently the Night Prowler Bastet skin got removed for now, and you'll get your gems back if you purchased it, while they rework it into something a little less
Copyrighted?
A little like Batman. I mean, Catwoman. I mean, Joker. I mean, copyrighted.
Yeah, it was so cool, I thought. And so we noticed this a few days, like the day it disappeared or something, because, well, for one thing, it wasn't on the rotation on the front screen, right?
Yeah.
Where it
Well, they
rotates
told
and
us.
shows
They
you.
mentioned like it would. Like it says here in the patch notes, right? That
Yeah, we
took
were
out.
busy doing other stuff and hadn't actually read the patch notes yet. We were
Oh,
just
okay.
actually
Yeah, we just played
logging
the
into
game. And then I was like,
With
"What? Wait,
users.
it's not on the front." So I went to the skin section to buy it, and I was like, "It's gone. What's going on?" We looked at each other like, "Oh, it's like copyright thing, probably." You know?
Which kind of sucks because I really want them to be kind of able to steal anybody's copyright and make a cool skin off
Like,
of it.
let's just make a Superman
Like,
skin for.
Yeah.
Let's just make a Spider-Man skin for Arachne.
I mean,
And I did say when it was first released that I had seen like a comic book cover, or maybe it was from like one of the games, but it did look exactly like Catwoman from the image that I saw.
From a Batman Arkham City, it was
Yeah.
uncanny.
I hope
Okay.
they actually go and talk to some of these companies and say, "Hey, we'd really love to use this skin. Like, basically license it, but tack that license on top of the skin. Like, so now there's this is a premium skin because it is a licensed skin.
Because it cost us money to get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I think people would be understanding, and maybe less people would buy it, but the people who did, they would pay a little more. And
It'd be like 800
worth it.
gems, maybe. So it would be like a $15 skin.
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah. And maybe they could do almost like a pack where it's like, look, if you buy this, DC themed skin, any DC themed skin we ever sell, you'll get it 200 less gems.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Are-
You're paying a one-time hit on buying
On
into
that.
that franchise.
Is
Right.
Hi-Res about to turn into the Microsoft store on Xbox Live where you can buy Superman skins for your little avatar? Is that what's supposed to happen to Smite?
I don't know. I'd love to see a Superman.
Well, I mean,
Maybe not
that's,
Superman,
That's
but
kind of what skins
like
are in
Punisher.
Smite now. Anyway, it's just that
I know
they
that's
pick.
how they make their money.
Yeah, they usually pick some that are either the copyright's expired or there is no copyright on it. But it seems like they're venturing more, or at least trying to venture more into that kind of copyright gray area with some more recent skins,
Yeah.
as we've talked about quite a bit during the show.
And I just saw something in our chat room live that was awesome. I saw Stoner, who usually gives out the patch notes in Smite Game Channel, gave them out in our channel. That was awesome.
Yeah.
And it was so cool. We went to the launch tournament, got to meet Stoner up at the VIP lounge.
Yeah.
And he had the red and black hoodie on, just like
That's
I
right.
That's
yeah.
right.
Oh, that's Stoner.
So that was awesome. So he's
He is
we're
literally
good buds
Brent.
now. We talk
They are the
all the
same
time.
person.
We really don't talk all the time, but we should. So we need to find out where to get another one of those hoodies. They don't sell them anymore. Anyway,
Awesome.
so let's move on to another voice pack. Blind Vengeance Nemesis had a voice pack added. So there's hope there for the Dark Whisperer to get a voice pack. I'm sure that's a major voice pack that'll come.
What are you talking about? He has a voice pack.
Our sound pack.
Oh, yeah.
for the
Well, okay.
skins. Like those will get introduced at some point, right?
Yeah, I think they will. I think they might. I think it might have been an overlook because the skin is so complicated Maybe they just kind of forgot about the sounds. Because also his back animation, he still does the bee thing, like he goes back and forth like Amusin Cobb does, and it looks really bizarre for Cthulhu. I mean, Dark Whisperer to be going back and forth like that. So
Yeah.
I think they're just, it's just polish. It's stuff that, I mean, other skins have had this kind of stuff too, right? Like Sobek,
Yeah. Well,
went
yeah.
back
I
in
mean,
its
they
release.
fixed. I think something in this patch, Artemis's bow being the wrong color in his.
Yeah,
skin.
exactly. So, like, skin tweaks will continue to happen. I'm sure it'll be fixed. At some
I
point.
think there may still be one going on with and her spear in in one of his skins. It's the wrong color, I think, or it disappears or something.
Oh,
Yeah, and whatever happened to the Odin Mountain Man skin? It still looks so janky.
Well, it's a mountain
Remember-
man. Mountain men are janky.
Wow.
Yeah.
No,
what
but
are
you guys
talking
know,
about?
remember when they did the
Right.
Odin remodel, right? Like he had his two main skins, then he had the Mountain Man skin, which was Odin's premium skin, and they like never updated the textures on it, so it just looks really bad.
Brent loves
And
that skin.
It's my favorite
He does?
of all time.
No, you don't.
No, I don't. I absolutely don't.
Every time I've seen him play Odin, he always wears that skin.
What's
and
the-
says how much he loves it.
What's the choice there? It's
What do you mean?
premium skin or no skin, right?
Yeah.
Well, but every
Well, I
time
mean-
you say you love it.
But I mean, when they remodeled Odin, they mentioned like, and we're gonna fix the Mountain Man skin. We're gonna make it look better. 5 months ago.
Well, maybe they've just been busy.
Yeah.
I guess so. I mean, I don't know what they do there.
Yeah.
I mean, they work on a game, I guess. I could probably made that inference.
Yeah. Custom skins, custom maps in games. That's where Siege is now available.
Yeah.
You can now start up a custom game and put Siege in there, which is cool.
Yeah.
Also with Siege, they fixed that you can no longer kite the towers into the jungle. You had jackholes who were doing that.
Yeah.
Not so funny.
It was so funny when it would happen. It'd be like, Tower, no, we want you to be in the lane right now.
Yeah.
We don't want you in the jungle
I-
chasing this minion.
I've only seen it happen once, like in the Siege matches that I've played, but the tower was just so confused. Like after everybody ran away from it, it didn't know where to go anymore. It just kind of sat there and spun around for a second, and then
That
I
was
think
sad.
it slowly tried to make its way back to the lane, but someone destroyed it before it made it back.
Jackholes.
R.I.P. Tower. So sad. They
they
also they also increased the maximum player respawn timers in Siege, which I think is a really good change for them to make. It feels a lot better. I think you have a longer death time, and that's good. So I like it. I think that's a good update.
So that is a good thing. So it's not as fast as like Arena and stuff.
It's not
Maximum.
as fast, but it's better. Like with the game I played, when you get deicides, it feels like you have time to do things now.
Right.
Whereas
Yeah.
before you would just barely like get up to their tower, and by the time they were all back.
Yeah. So that should speed up matches a bit.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
That'd be good. Also, they made a change where all healing reduction abilities on God should now stack with healing reduction from items. So
Nice.
yay. And then on the gods, they nerfed Bastet a little bit, and they buffed Osiris a little bit. Did
Yeah.
y'all look at those?
I did. The
So-
best set buff was like everyone was like so happy about it.
Yeah. Well, and the
Yeah.
Osiris, I think people should be happy about that too. Like,
Mhm.
it seems like he needed a little buff, so
Yeah,
I'm
I agree.
happy with both of those.
I agree.
So no more OP Bastet.
I wouldn't say
She's-
that. But
I mean,
she's not-
less OP.
The Razor
She's-
Whip looks like it was nerfed mainly.
It was the razor, but also her jump that you can never jump. You can't jump out of CC now, except for the first second. Now the thing is, with the update to her number 1, before you didn't have CC immunity for the first second. You could just jump out of CC. So now, if a Bastet coordinates it properly, she has a free beads for a second if she jumps properly, right?
Yeah,
It's like an Ares.
1 second.
Yeah, like you
Okay.
can wait on Ares timer, and it's like, I have you now, and you just jump real quick, and then you're CC immune for a second, and then you're fine. You got an Ares ult. So kind of crazy, but
Yeah, one more thing to screw Ares ult.
I know, poor guy.
yeah,
not-
exactly. In the league games I played thus far, Bastet has still been a top ban. So maybe people in league just don't they're afraid of Bastet because Bastet was tearing things up so much. Like Uller is still a top band, but he's not really as strong as he was. After his buff or his nerf, it did pretty significantly weaken him. So I think people in League are just afraid of these gods. They know the god is really, that was really deadly, so they're not inclined to want to.
And they might be seeing how it plays out in casuals.
That's true too. Yeah, exactly. That's a good point. I didn't think about that.
And see if the nerf actually had the desired effect of making it more balanced, or if it wasn't enough and she's still able to, just to melt people. So I think more than likely they're just waiting it out and they're playing casuals where you can't ban it and seeing how it goes.
Yeah.
Sweet. So
Loki's Lurkings.
But that gets more disturbing every week.
These on the spot bumpers are just the tops.
Yeah, the taps.
doesn't it make you feel good?
Would you say that they're the bee's knees?
I would say
So
the
anyway, we
Bumblebee's
got
knees.
some data mined information from the Reddit. From this is all from a post by Hell Shoot.
Hell shoot.
Some are images, and we'll link to this in the show notes. We got some League icons, League avatars, Geb's new sound files, some troll portrait and cards for Janus. But we also got the god to come after Janus, possibly. Who? Rama.
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 So, Rama or Ram is the seventh avatar of the Hindu god Vishnu and a king of Ayodhya. In Hindu scriptures, Rama is also the hero of the Hindu epic Ramayana, which narrates his supremacy. And I'm probably being put on some list right now for getting all these names wrong.
Yeah,
but
probably.
Rama is one of the many popular figures and deities of Hinduism, specifically Vaishnavism and Vaishnava religious scriptures in South and Southeast Asia. Along with Krishna, Rama is considered to be the most important avatar of Vishnu. In a few Rama-centric sects, he is considered the supreme being rather than an avatar. So I think they're saying it's probably going to be a hunter.
Okay.
There hasn't been a hunter since Uller 3 weeks ago. 4 weeks ago, 5 weeks, whatever. Like a month ago.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a bow and arrow. He's blue like a Smurf.
When was the last mage?
The last
So
mage
was it Scylla? Was Scylla the last mage? Well, I guess Scuba Carno is
I-
technically a mage, but I think Scylla.
Yeah, because
Was the
Scuba
last-
is a guardian.
Right.
Yeah, so, yeah. New mage time with a bow and arrow, magical bow and arrow or something.
And we haven't really had an assassin in a while either. Not since
Yeah.
I mean, Osiris is pretty assassiny if you build him that way. He's kind of like Nemesis.
Who was the
Or
last
Nemesis is-
assassin, though? It's been forever. What, like Fenrir? Ages ago? And Fenrir's not even an assassin?
Oh, who
I mean, he's
was
like
it?
a-
Wow, because I mean, Nemesis is
bruiser
basically an
now.
assassin. That's how everyone builds Nemesis, but she's technically a warrior.
Yeah.
Osiris is
God, I can't-
technically a warrior, but people build him assassiny too because his kit is like that
Yeah.
We basically need a poster of all the gods that they have.
in order.
Yeah.
That's what we
Yeah.
need right here in the studio. That'd be awesome.
Man, I think it was
we need
Hoon
that wall.
Bats.
Huh?
I think it was Hoon Bats.
Yeah, that's possible.
I think that was the last
Oh,
assassin.
God, that was so long ago, too.
Yeah, and he was only added after they took out Sun Wukong.
Yeah.
We need that.
Well, we
the,
had the
uh,
Bastet remake.
Okay, that's true. Oh yeah, Bastet remade.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. So maybe that be technically it.
So yeah, before that it was either Mercury or Humbats.
Mercury. That's
Yeah.
who. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so maybe it's
So we
not
haven't had an assassin
as
in a long
long
time.
as we thought,
Magula.
but still a long time.
Yeah, yeah, it has been a long time. I mean, like you said, we had Scylla with the mages.
Before Scylla was Nemesis, and then
For
before
a mage?
Nemesis. No, I just mean in
It's like,
terms
that's
of gods.
weird. I don't remember that. But yeah, I mean, we only have right now 5 Hindu gods. So Kumbho was the last one, and so that's good to kind of fill out that pantheon. When do y'all think there will be a new pantheon? Do you think there will be one, or do you think that'll be like
they've all alluded to the fact that they're gonna explore other pantheons, but I think they're gonna kind of round out each one and make sure each one at least has one or two of each
Every role.
class. Yeah, and then once that, and maybe they won't finish that out because they've added new pantheons before other pantheons had every role. But I think they'll focus on getting each pantheon filled out and then worry about exploring other pantheons.
I really want a Mayan mage, so you can finally have a team of all Mayan gods and it not be awful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, really,
because there's only 4 Mayans right now, right? It's
Yeah,
the
there are
least
2 ADCs, an assassin, and a warrior.
least filled out, but also the Roman only has 5, so it's the same as Hindu. So Hindu will actually have more gods than 2 other pantheons after that god comes out.
Well, and it's only been recently that you could have kind of every role, although Osiris, like you were saying, gets built not so, more assassin than warrior, but
Yeah.
it's only recently that you could have a full Egyptian team if you wanted that.
Because of Geb.
Yeah.
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 But I think Paul's probably right. That'd be good for them to have like 2 roles per pantheon, more or less, before they start expanding other pantheons.
Yeah.
But do you realize we've had, like, Greeks just keep getting love? Like Nemesis and Scylla were both Greek.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like that would have been a good opportunity to pop into another pantheon. So I wonder if they're really as worried about that as we think they are.
Right.
Like, I think it would be a big thing for a new pantheon to come out.
Yeah.
Bigger than, pretty much anything else.
I think if they did a new pantheon, they couldn't release just one god. I think they'd probably do like 2. It'd be crazy. It'd be a huge patch. They release 2 gods in 1 week.
Yeah.
They're doing a pantheon.
Well, and they'd
I
have
think-
to change all the art and, like, all the maps that use the pantheon artwork.
Oh,
What do you-
yeah.
Hopefully
What do you
that's like a very... Like in Arena, like your pantheon is...
On the banner, but I mean, that's something that changes based on what your team comp is, right? So they would have to add
so
in
if you
more
pick a
texture.
New, they'd have to add new stuff to the map.
Mhm.
But that's cool.
Yeah.
So-
New
That's
Pantheon.
super cool.
Like South Los Angeles or something. Like you'll have like Ice Cube from Compton.
All right, moving
And
on.
with that, where the hell do you put these?
It's hammer time! Thor's top 5.
Yes. Yes.
So- Last week, Bob the Titan wrote in and told us we missed something with
Uh-oh.
our Thor's top 5 last week of movies. And his idea was, which is, I think, brilliant, Godzilla.
Godzilla. Okay, I like it. Okay, that's good. That's
That
good.
should actually, with Godzilla coming out, that should be a skin, shouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Godzilla.
Godzilla.
And she-
Oh, like
she
all
has
of her
the whole-
tentacles be like little, like, monster head, like Godzilla's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Like she's the one that really kind of fits in, like both with the name because it's easily transformed in that, but just she's a monster. So I mean, it just works.
It does work.
She's a monster.
A monster.
Okay, this week our top 5 is actives that were rejected.
Active.
So I guess all the devs were sitting around and thinking of actives, and Eric the dev came out with this one. What was it, Eric?
freeze frame. Pause everyone else for X amount of seconds.
I guess that would ramp up as
Yeah. See, that's a great one. I don't know why that was rejected.
It's like the reverse Chronos, right?
yeah.
Wouldn't that be cool? But it freezes your team too, right? Freezes everybody.
Yeah.
Except for you.
So
for
basically,
you.
everyone would buy that, and everyone would just get pissed because it keeps getting used over and over and over again.
Yeah.
It's like a pause.
It would have to have
button.
like a 10-minute cooldown to not be just awful.
Use it once per game. Yeah.
And then
Yeah,
number
basically.
4 was confusion, which turns team damage on the other team, and then you rank it up, and now you see the other team as the same team, so they think they're attacking the other team.
Oh, weird.
Talk about it. It's
That's
confusing.
confusion. Yeah, that's
And it is confusion.
I like that. That's good. That's good.
Number 3 is shrink. Makes you super small.
Super.
To be
small.
super not helpful at all.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, that would be super annoying.
Like little
Like, all of
Number
these would.
2, which we know and love from Team Fortress 2, is low gravity.
Yeah.
All right.
No gravity, floating around, jumping around. the
Would you
map.
take damage when
Great.
it turned off? So you just start floating up, and then it would turn off, and you.
Does that mean like if Neja hits someone with their ult, he just like keeps going up and up and up,
Yeah.
like doesn't ever come down? Or
Or Kumba.
or Kumakarni, yeah, Kumakarni hits somebody up and they're gone for like a minute, and they come back down and nobody's there, and like where'd everybody go?
Yeah.
Team fight was over. They got a deicide on the other team.
Freeze frame right before you hit the ground. Huh?
Yeah. And then the one that I assume this was the best one or something. Increase jump.
All right.
So you
Isn't that
increase
fun?
your jump. So
Yeah.
you just kind of jump across the map real quick, kill the Titan.
I
or-
wouldn't think
It-
that much.
Oh,
I think
okay,
maybe
not
like
crazy jump.
doubles.
I
your
think you
jump.
just jump higher, and it
Yeah.
still really doesn't do anything.
Oh, okay. Jump
Your
over
Hitbox
trees
is still
and
the
stuff.
same,
But
but
absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Except for
Completely worthless.
looks.
Increase jump too strong.
Too strong.
high res, please nerf.
Please nerf.
Please nerf.
Nice job. That was Thor's top 5.
Good one. Good one this week.
Now, before I hit this next button,
Yes.
how long have we been recording? Has this been a long show today?
54 minutes.
I don't
And we
know.
still have to add the second half of the interview. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
Interview.
so I think maybe
that's about it.
yeah,
maybe we should tell folks how to get in touch with us and in
Okay.
touch with themselves at the same time.
So touch yourselves while you contact us through giving us iTunes. You can call us 662-736-8260. Put that on your cell phone and call us any old time you want to.
Yeah, if you're driving down the road, just pick up your cell phone right now and enter in the number.
Use your little wireless headset Bluetooth
are we
thing.
encouraging people to call people?
Talk on the phone
call
and
us.
drive.
Well, they're
Yeah.
in the passenger seat. They're not actually driving.
Yeah, or you're in the back seat or something.
I should say you're riding around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get your friend's phone who is driving and enter this number in for them so they can call us up.
Yeah, say you're tied to the roof rack or something, you know? You need something to do.
And if you got internets, you can go to smitesubmit.deadworkers.com, and we got an easy form there. Not a single person has filled it out yet.
You
Yeah,
can be
we're
first.
very disappointed.
First.
You could be the first one. We've been getting emails like nobody's business, but we want you to fill the form out.
Yeah.
Also, if you like hearing me talk, you can go to twitch.tv/NivekPlays because I'm gonna start streaming now that I got it all figured out.
Oh, sweet.
Streaming.
Yeah,
If you wanna watch me play video games, you can follow me on Twitch.
And
Well,
make fun of
if we're plugging stuff, follow at AfroMonkey on Twitter.
it. On the Twitter.
Hey, and if we're plugging stuff, I hope you're feeling okay, Eric, because I'm going to be plugging something later on.
Whoa.
Oh, whoa.
You are now at the end of another episode of On Smite, a podcast brought to you by the Dead Workers Party. Listen every week by subscribing on iTunes or by visiting smite.deadworkers.com. Watch the episodes on youtube.com/deadworkersparty or see the live show at deadworkers.com/live.